So we're also going to record this information session so that if you have any questions, you can always go back and rewatch it. Any future applicants can also go back and rewatch this video. You will also receive the PowerPoint presentation that we're discussing today via email. It's going to be in English and Spanish, so you will receive instructions in both those languages. And if there's a need for another language, please let us know. But that will be available to you once this is done. Once the information session is finished, you'll receive all this information. I'm also going to put my email in the chat before we start. One of the most important pieces of information that you should glean from today is the fact that we can expedite the SAGE registration process. So in the chat, you'll see my email. If you have additional questions, if you plan to apply for this grant, and we really encourage you to apply. We want as many applicants as possible. Please reach out with any questions, and please reach out to let us know that you're going to apply. This way we can have internally our system looking out for you, and we can make this registration process as smooth as possible. So I'm going to jump right into the presentation. We have a pretty thorough presentation this morning to walk through. And if everyone can see my screen, I guess we'll begin. So again, welcome to today's presentation. It's hosted by the New Jersey Puerto Rico Commission. My name is Awilda Pomales-Diaz. I'm the Executive Director of the Commission. We're really excited to guide you through this process of accessing grant opportunities through SAGE. That's the System for Administering Grants Electronically. It's the system that all New Jersey departments use. Specifically, this is our link to the Department of State. That's what the Commission is under. Our goal is to provide you with the tools and knowledge to successfully navigate this application process. We want to maximize the potential for your organization's growth and impact through this grant. This is our first grant as the Puerto Rico Commission, so we really thank you for joining us. We look forward to assisting you in this journey and to securing valuable resources for your initiatives. So we're going to get ahead and start. So registering for SAGE. This was the piece that begins your journey with the System for Administering Grants Electronically. New users, that would be a majority of the people on this call, will have to first complete the registration process. So this registration process, you open your web browser and you should go to sage.nj.gov. There is also a button on the Puerto Rico Commission's website that allows you to click directly onto this link. So this is on our website, and then also we can email this to you and you can click from the PowerPoint presentation. To start, you hit the new user button, and that's located at the top right corner of the application as soon as you receive, this page, and you put in sage.nj.gov. To successfully register, you'll be taken to the registration screen. You have to ensure that all the fields marked with an asterisk these are mandatory. So you have to put information in here. It's pretty basic information. It includes the organization name, title, address. Once you've entered all the information, you have to click the Save button. It's located at the top right of the screen. This will save all your details, and this will complete the registration process, allowing us to see that your organization has registered, and that begins the journey of filling out the application through SAGE. Once again, after clicking the Save button, you will see a pop-up notification with the message registration complete. This has to have the green light. Please note, it usually takes 10 business days to gain access to SAGE after this is done. During this period, please monitor your inbox for the approval notice. It will not take 10 days if you send us an email with your organization. We are trying to expedite this process given the tight timeline that we have for this grant. So please email to the email that is listed in the chat. It's awilda.pomales/Diaz at sos.nj.gov. Again, it's also on the Puerto Rico Commission homepage. So now we're going to talk a bit about compatibility and completing an application. This is also a pertinent piece of information. Google Chrome does not work with SAGE. So please do not use Google Chrome. You should use a different browser such as Firefox, Safari, Microsoft Edge, but this will not work when submitting a SAGE application. Logging into SAGE, to access your SAGE account, you enter your username and password. Make sure the credentials are correct, write them down. I definitely did with the SAGE system to keep all my passwords in order. Once you enter this information, click Login to proceed. This will take you to the system where you can start managing the grant application and access all of the resources. There are additional helpful links and FAQs on SAGE. We know that a majority of the applicants will be new to the system, so we are really here to help all of you have the smoothest grant experience possible. So after logging in to SAGE, you'll reach the welcome page. You will want to scroll down and click View Available Opportunities. This section provides access to not only our grant opportunity, but it lists all the grant opportunities available. For this specific opportunity, it will be listed under that section. It's going to give you a list of everything current. You review and you select the Puerto Rico Commission energy grant. So to search, you can put the drop-down button next to provider. The provider is the Department of State. The Puerto Rico Commission is within the Department of State. This will then trigger Puerto Rico if you type in that, and the filter button. That will eventually pop out what the grant is and whether you are interested in applying. While your organization's name, once registered, will appear on this list, for demonstration purposes, we are going to proceed with Servicios Latinos de Burlington County as the example application. So you would hit Apply Now, and this will initiate the application process. And this is where you begin entering information about not only your organization, but the specific grant. So on the agreement screen, before you begin your grant application, please make sure that your grant guidelines are open for your reference. You do this by clicking on the link that says PRC Application Handbook and Funding Guidelines. These documents will guide you through the application process. Once you review the guidelines and are ready to proceed, you click the I agree button. This action confirms your understanding of the guidelines, and it allows you to begin creating your grant application. Following all these steps ensures that you're well prepared to meet all requirements and submit a comprehensive proposal. So this is the grant application document snapshot. Here you will find all the key information related to the application. This section includes the grant number. It's specific and unique to your organization's application. This is essential for our internal tracking and reference. Within the details box, you'll find important details such as the document type, specifying the grant category that you're applying for, the organization's name, and the current status. So if you are still completing the application, it will say application in progress. It has the dates and the dates of instance for the application. So navigating SAGE through this form menu, as you begin completing the application, this is one of the key pieces in SAGE that you'll use. If you click the Forms drop-down menu, it's in the top left corner. A drop-down menu with all the application forms will appear. You start with the first link. It's the profile information. You input basics. Important to know that you avoid using your browser's back buttons. So this will erase progress that you've made in the sections. Instead, use the SAGE navigation tools. It's on the platform. Always remember to save your work. After completing each section, SAGE does not automatically save progress. This ensures that your information is secure and up to date if you press save after you enter information. I know I had to learn this when I was starting with SAGE. It's definitely an important piece to continue to save your progress in the application to avoid erasing that progress. So, profile information. Before you proceed, please make sure that you've reviewed a second webinar on our website. It's called Step 1, Organization Information. It's crucial for completing the additional profile information section. You must complete this step prior to starting. Otherwise, the information won't populate in the section and SAGE will display an error every time you click the Save button. Assuming you've completed step 1, organization information, we're going to move on to the following steps. Organization contact. Please enter that section with the contact information of who the primary program contact and who will be handling all the correspondence related to your application. If you encounter an error, click the Save button again. This will allow SAGE to populate information entered in step 1. You should see a pop-up notification confirming all your information has been saved. Yeah. If you have further details, refer to the second slide in profile information. Again, we know that this is a lot of information. This will be given to you via email and will be available on our website. Okay, so profile information continued. When you're working on your application in SAGE, after clicking save, you may receive an error message. Don't worry, this is part of the normal process. Click save again to resolve the issue. Once the save is successful, you will see a pop-up notification confirming that your work has been saved. So you will get a notification, it's the little hand sign, but instead of error, it will be saved. Okay, now we move on to the executive summary section. To begin drafting the executive summary, you hover again over that forms menu that has all these application forms. And this section, you should provide a concise overview of your grant application. You should highlight key objectives and anticipated outcomes. It's crucial to articulate your vision clearly in this section. This is an extremely flexible grant that has a bunch of avenues of use, and we really do want information on what the vision is from your organization and what this project entails. So this is a little bit more about what the executive summary page will look like. Please make sure that your grant guidelines are open and they're ready for your reference. It's important to address each bullet point within the space provided. So within that 7,000 characters of the overall summary of the program. Please make sure it's concise and comprehensive at the same time. Once you've completed this section, again, please click the Save button to secure your input. This step is crucial for capturing the essence of your project and aligning it with the grant's objectives. So please also provide the necessary context about your organization. Hover over the Forms menu link. Again, this is where a majority of the information will be throughout the application process. So you just go down, filling out that information. This section allows you to showcase your organization's history, the mission, and relevant achievements, basically setting the stage for your grant application and what tools your organization has to effectuate this project and this grant. So this is another page where you will complete your organizational background. It ensures that each of the bullets are met. Now we move on to the statement of need. This page is specifically to articulate the necessity of your project. Since this is a grant that deals with energy and powering different centers, we do want you to focus on that and the importance and urgency of the issue that your project aims to address, whether it is the solar generator or another alternative energy request. This is the rationale for your grant request. Again, this is the page. Reminder, please click save. Every time you input information, this is extremely important that we save the information. We have a very tight deadline for this grant. So we want to make sure that all that information is submitted and saved to avoid any errors or deadlines not being met. So please remember the save button. Next is the project description, again, down in the forms menu. This is for the details of the scope and specifics of your project. You hover over the forms menu, you click project description. This will have the objectives, methodology, expected outcomes, and a comprehensive overview of what your organization wants to achieve with this grant. Again, a very similar page for the project description. Make sure that we have your organization's name and the project title. We have two options for the program category. So it's solar energy or a generator project. Please make sure that you select one of the program categories. This section is really comprehensive. Make sure to scroll all the way down to the bottom to get the guidelines and the main components of the project description, methodology, approach, and project goals. Identify the target audience that your project intends to serve. So if you are an education system and you may be looking for batteries, the project goal would be to continue energy and service for your organization. And the population would be, younger children. If you are a senior center, the target population would be vulnerable elders. And then we want specific numbers of the amount of people or entities you aim to impact. So we want to know the scale of this project and how many people will be impacted positively. As we, continue on to the project description, an evaluation is necessary of how you will assess the project's success and how your organization intends to assess the project progress and completion. There are also questions about sustainability. We also have a project timetable with days and hours of the operation. For example, if you know that this generator will take X amount of weeks or months to build, that should be included in your project timetable. Again, there is a lot of information in the project detail section. Each part of this section has a specific character limit. So please make sure that those, you are within those restrictions and carefully entering your data. Once you've completed all the required fields, those marked with an asterisk are all the mandatory fields. Please click the Save button to secure your entries. Again, this step is essential so that you can complete and align the grant requirements. Again, this is more information on navigating the page with examples of where you would enter information. Next, we're going to personnel services. These are requested details about your project staffing. Again, you hover over the forms menu and then scroll down to personnel services. This allows you to outline the roles, responsibilities, and qualifications of the personnel involved in your project. It ensures that you have the right team in place to achieve your goals. So this is some, the personnel section. When you're filling this out, please, it's essential to organize your entries correctly. Please make sure all the staff members who receive fringe benefits are listed on one page, while those without are on a separate page. Additionally, each staff member must have a unique position title, even if they share the same job role. So that's within the SAGE system. For instance, if you're adding 3 teachers, their title should be Title Name 1, Title Name 2, and Title Name 3 to distinguish them within SAGE. It helps us maintain clarity and organization within our application system. Next, we have contractual services. It's also located within the forms menu. This section is where you can outline agreements with third-party providers, ensuring that all your contractual agreements are properly documented. As you prepare to enter the line items in the contractual services section, first ensure that you check the appropriate answer for the yes or no option provided. This is the initial step for aligning your entries and the requirements outlined in the grant guidelines. Refer to the grant guidelines for detailed instructions on how to complete this accurately. Once you've finished all the necessary information, again, please click the Save button to secure your work. This step is essential. The next button that we have in the applications form is the other direct costs. These are for additional expenses related to your project. This section is designed to capture costs that don't fall under personnel or contractual services. This is ensuring a comprehensive budget overview for your application. Again, this is standard within New Jersey state departments to have this information provided in an application. And this will be what the page looks like. And make sure, again, click Save. Next, we have a page to consolidate all the financial aspects of your project. Hover over the Forms menu and click over Overview Budget / Organization Budget. This is part of the project's financial plans, including all anticipated outcome and expenses. Again, please make sure to click Save once all this information is inputted. This step is crucial for all the financial details that the peer reviewers will look over once your application is submitted. You will need to adjust figures in each relevant budget section to align with your organization's specific requests. Please revise the numbers and make sure they are within the grant's financial limits and requirements. After making revisions, please click the Save button again. This ensures the changes are correctly updated. Then we have required appendices. To complete your application with the essential supplementary materials, again, hover over the Forms menu and click the Required Appendices section. This section is where you will upload mandatory documents that support your grant proposal and making sure that you meet all the submission requirements. So this is where you will receive the required appendices and you will need to upload several documents. So this nonprofit, the nonprofits that are open to this grant application are located either in New Jersey or Puerto Rico. So the project must be located in in Puerto Rico, but the organizations applying and organizing this project can be either from New Jersey or Puerto Rico. If you are a nonprofit that resides in Puerto Rico, you will need a copy of the status determination letter from the IRS or the PR 1103 certification. Again, these are standard documents that your organization should already have. And if you have applied for a SAGE grant before, this is standard. You will also need an audit. This will be your organization's most recent audit or financial statements. These documents are critical for validating the eligibility and compliance with the requirements. Once uploaded, please double check the files to make sure each is accurate and complete. So again, these are mandatory appendices. Next, we have our final button within the Forms menu. It's the last button. You click over the Forms menu and hit Appendices link. This is an optional area where you can include extra documents and materials for your proposal, providing extra context and to support your application, something that you may want the peer reviewers and eventual commission members to read. This is extra content. You can include job descriptions, resumes, other documents that strengthen your application and annual report. Once you have uploaded the right documents, please click the Save button, again, to save all your work and to make sure that we properly receive the documents. So once you have completed within the Forms menu all sections of the grant application, it's officially time to submit it. Please hover over Status Changes and click on Apply Status under Application Submitted. This action is the final step. It finalizes your application and sends it over to us automatically for the review of the grant committee and the peer reviewers. So once you receive application submitted and this step is complete, we will then have your application to review and start the process. We will have funds out by the first week of July. So that is a timeline for receiving, if chosen, the grant funding. On the agreeing to the term screen, you also have an option to enter additional information or notes in the space that's provided if you choose to do so. This is not mandatory, but this is an opportunity to include any final remarks or details that, again, may enhance your application. Once you completed the section, click the I agree button. Again, this is a crucial step within the SAGE system for confirming your acceptance of the terms that are associated with this grant that the Department of State and the Puerto Rican Commission have created. When you finalize your application, please check the details box to ensure the information is correctly displayed. Again, document type, it reflects the grant category you've applied for. Organization, displays the name of the organization. The current status will show you whether your application has been submitted. To confirm your submission, feel free to reach out to me, the Executive Director for the Puerto Rico Commission, for verification. Please also remember, if you are using a compatible browser, which would be Microsoft Edge, Firefox, or Safari when accessing SAGE, please remember Google Chrome is not compatible, so please avoid it when you're completing your application. Again, you will receive this presentation via email right after this. It's definitely a lot of information to take in, but we hope we have simplified this process for you. You will receive this video, and on SAGE, there are FAQs. I am available to you during this grant process. Throughout the grant process, I am here to answer your questions and help you apply. So next, we're going to have any questions. If you have specific questions about the grant, you can raise your hand on Zoom, let us know, and we can try to answer that question right now. If not, feel free to email. I've put my email in the chat. And we really want to receive proposals and help out with the needs on the island and meeting those needs as a commission. Again, this is our inaugural grant. It's the first time we are putting out a grant via the SAGE system. So we really hope that this has helped. And if you have additional questions, I'm free via email, and I can also put my cell in the chat. So if you would prefer to speak over the phone, my cell phone number will be here, and it'll also be in the email. Right now, our time for questions, if anyone has additional questions or comments on the SAGE process. Seeing that no one has raised their hands, we're going to conclude this information session. Thank you all so much for your interest in this grant. We do want you to apply, and we hope that this has explained a bit about the process for SAGE and how to apply for this grant. Please let me know if you have any questions. Again, I will send this via email. Please apply, and I hope to speak with you and review your application soon. Thank you so much.